Welcome to solverfy.
For this question, we are looking at the hybrid zone. And as you would expect from the word itself, this is going to be a zone or a place where hybrids are often found. So in order to get a hybrid, you have to first have two very closely related species. And they're going to have to interact with one another to create and mate to have that hybrid. So there are different ways that our species can interact. And for that, we have a sort of convergent and divergent evolution chart. So you, of course, start with your ancestor, and at some point, there is the origination of a mutation, causing the split into two different types of species. These two species are expected to be able to mate accordingly, but there are different ways they can interact through this mating process. So you have a process that's going to reinforce the creation of these two species. So we'll say species X and species Y are able to mate and interact and reproduce. So they're going to create this sort of hybrid generation in between that has similarities between both species. But in this reinforcing pathway, they have less chance of survival. So eventually, as time progresses, the population and number of this hybrid is going to decrease, and you're going to get an increased occurrence of these two different species types. So here we're reinforcing the creation of two different species. This is alternative to other factors such as fusion. So again, we start with the similar ancestor and the creation of two species types. They're going to mate similarly, and we'll say that our hybrid has a higher rate of survival in the environment. So here you get the occurrence of hybrids, and because they survive better, you're going to get a sort of blending of the two species back into one common species. This is because both of those individual species are not selected for, and so you're going to get the selection by natural selection for the hybrid. So this is that fusion pathway. The last pathway is going to be the stability pathway. So here again, you start with the single common ancestor and the origination of two different species types. And they're going to be able to mate and create their own hybrids. However, there's no selection for or against that hybrid, so it's going to persist over time. And you're still going to get the origination of both species. So in the circumstance of this stability model, you're going to get the species of X, Y, as well as the hybrid. So as you can see from these graphs, the things that a hybrid zone is going to require is you're going to have that common ancestor, you're going to have the origination of mutations that cause the differentiation of the two species. They have to be close together and able to interact, and we expect that they're able to reproduce. So taking these facts into account about this question, a hybrid zone is going to require the ability to reproduce. So here you should pick answer choice B.